You think you're lonely because you're alone. You think loneliness means silence, empty rooms, unanswered calls. But that's not the real reason. The truth is far more brutal. You're not lonely because you're isolated. You're lonely because you're surrounded by people who don't see you. Worse, by people you never let see you. This isn't about introversion. It's not about finding your tribe. And it's definitely not about needing to love yourself first. That's the candy-coated nonsense peddled by pop psych influencers and spiritual escapists. This is war, and you are the battlefield. You've spent your life in a crowd of mirrors, each one reflecting back a version of you that doesn't quite fit. Smiling here, nodding there, shrinking a little. You learn to adapt, to perform, to become palatable. And now, even in the middle of a room, even with people laughing near you, you feel it. The hollowness, the disconnection. Because what they love isn't you. It's the version of you they can consume. Here's the truth you were never told. You can't feel connected if you're never truly seen. And you can't be seen if your real self is buried under approval, fear, and constant performance. This essay isn't for everyone. It's not for those who still think another friend, another partner, or another social hobby will solve the ache in their chest. It's for those who are brave enough to ask, why do I feel more alone around people than I do when I'm by myself? It's for those who've tried connection the conventional way and found only emptiness. Nietzsche called it the pain of becoming, the agony of realizing that society doesn't want your truth. It wants your conformity. And the more truth you carry, the lonelier you become. So let's begin there. Not with comforting lies, but with a challenge. What if the people around you aren't failing to connect? What if they're connecting to a mask you no longer want to wear? If that hits you in the gut, good, because this isn't going to be gentle. You were trained to fear rejection, trained to become likable, trained to survive, but that training made you invisible. Now it's time to unlearn, to rip the mask off, to face the battlefield, unarmored. Because if you keep choosing comfort over authenticity, you'll die surrounded, and still utterly alone. Imagine an army trapped in the middle of an endless battlefield. But instead of enemy soldiers, it is surrounded by mirrors. Every direction reflects a distorted image of themselves, not the reality, but shadows, illusions, masks. Each reflection demands a different version of who they should be to survive. This is your social reality. You are not alone because of physical solitude. You are alone because you are fighting a war inside this hall of mirrors, trying to reconcile who you are, who others want you to be, and who you pretend to be to keep peace. Nietzsche understood this battlefield better than anyone. In Thus Spoke Zarathustra and the Gay Science, he reveals the loneliness of those who pursue authenticity in a world that punishes it. The modern world sells a lie, that happiness lies in belonging, fitting in, or being liked, that the more connected you are on social media or in your circle, the less lonely you feel. But Nietzsche's truth is far more ruthless. You become lonelier the more you live your own truth, because truth is a double-edged sword. While it frees you, it isolates you. Authenticity cuts through the comforting fog of social norms and exposes you to rejection, misunderstanding, and alienation. Why? Because society thrives on conformity. It demands masks, roles, performances, because a homogeneous crowd is predictable and manageable. Nietzsche's will to power is not just about dominance over others. It is about mastering yourself, breaking free from the crowd's expectations, and becoming the Übermensch, the one who defines his own values. But this path is lonely. The crowd will mock, exclude, or simply ignore the one who dares to stand apart. Even well-meaning friends will shy away from the discomfort your authenticity brings. This is not weakness. It is the brutal price of becoming yourself. Modern psychology, however, offers a diluted version of this struggle. It tells you to love yourself and practice self-care, as if that alone will solve the fracture. It encourages endless socializing and networking to fill the void. But filling the void with more noise only deepens the silence inside. You may be surrounded by people. You may be busy with endless connections. Yet the loneliness persists. Nietzsche's metaphor of the battlefield surrounded by mirrors shows us why. You're not fighting the wrong battle. You're fighting the wrong war. The war isn't outside, it's inside, between the self that wants to be free and the self that fears rejection. Each mirror demands a version of you that's smaller, safer, and more acceptable. You try to appease every reflection, your family's expectations, your friends' comfort zones, your society's rules. But in doing so, you fragment yourself. You lose coherence. You become a collection of masks without a core. This fractured self is what Nietzsche describes as ressentiment, a bitterness born from denying your true power and desires. Instead of embracing the loneliness that comes with authenticity, you numb it. You distract yourself with shallow connections, addictions, and social validation. This is why loneliness in a crowd is so piercing. You're present physically, but absent spiritually. The crowd does not hold space for your true self. It only reflects back the masks it expects. To escape this, Nietzsche offers no quick fixes. He challenges you to become the creator of your own identity, unyielding, unapologetic, and brutally honest. This means accepting the loneliness that comes with that freedom. It means standing alone in the middle of the battlefield, unarmed except for your truth. Only then can you break free from the mirrors and stop fighting reflections. Only then can you build an identity that isn't fractured but whole. Nietzsche's vision is brutal because it strips away comforting illusions and exposes the raw human condition. Loneliness is not the absence of people. It's the absence of authentic connection with yourself and others. And authentic connection requires courage. The courage to face rejection, to lose approval, and to risk isolation. Loneliness isn't always obvious. It doesn't always roar like isolation or physical solitude. Most often it lurks in plain sight, quiet, insidious, and corrosive. You wake up surrounded by texts and notifications, yet feel an unshakable emptiness. You sit at a dinner table filled with chatter, but your voice never fully reaches the ears around you. You scroll endlessly through social media, connecting with hundreds, but feel a profound disconnect beneath the surface. You nod along to conversations, laugh at jokes you barely understand, and force smiles you don't feel. This is the battlefield of mirrors in action. Your daily routine becomes a performance, choosing what to say, how to act, what mask to wear based on who's watching. You become a chameleon, adapting to survive, but losing yourself piece by piece. You crave genuine connection, but the fear of rejection keeps you trapped behind your own walls. You hesitate to speak your truth because it might fracture the fragile bonds you have left. At work, you suppress opinions to avoid conflict. Among friends, you hide struggles to maintain appearances. In relationships, you mirror your partner's desires, losing sight of your own. This constant self-editing drains your energy and deepens your isolation. And paradoxically, the more you try to fit in, the more invisible you become. You mistake busyness for belonging. You confuse validation for connection. This creates a feedback loop of loneliness that no number of likes or social events can break. Recognizing this pattern is the first step. Understanding that feeling lonely in a crowd isn't a flaw. It's a symptom. It's a signal that your authentic self is suffocating beneath layers of performance and fear. If you want to break free, you must stop feeding the illusion that presence equals connection. Because true connection demands something far harder: brutal honesty. Most advice you hear about loneliness is surface-level, sugar-coated nonsense. Go out more. Join clubs. Practice self-love. These cliches miss the brutal core of the problem. You can attend every party, swipe every dating app, and post every smiley on Instagram, and still feel hollow, unseen, and isolated. Why? Because the real issue isn't about quantity of connection, but quality. Conventional approaches assume that loneliness is a problem of lack of people, lack of activity, lack of distraction. But Nietzsche exposes the deeper truth. Loneliness is a symptom of inauthenticity. When you live behind masks, every interaction is a negotiation of appearances. You never truly reveal yourself, so others never truly reveal themselves to you. Conventional methods encourage you to build networks of acquaintances, but authentic bonds don't form through superficial exchanges or shared hobbies alone. They form through vulnerability, trust, and shared truth. And here lies the brutal failure. Most people aren't ready for that level of honesty. They're comfortable with the easy masks and polite facades. They fear the chaos that comes with raw authenticity. So when you attempt to break the pattern, you're met with resistance, dismissal, discomfort, or withdrawal. You're told to lighten up, stop overthinking, or just be yourself, without guidance on what that means or how to survive the fallout. This leaves you caught between two worlds: desperate to be seen, but terrified of the consequences of visibility. It's why loneliness persists. Because no amount of superficial socializing can replace the courage it takes to be seen, fully and unconditionally. This failure is not your fault. It is the cost of a society that prizes conformity over truth. If loneliness is the price of authenticity, then your weapon is discipline. Unyielding, strategic discipline. You must build a daily routine that dismantles masks and fortifies your true self. Step 1. Morning confrontation. Begin each day by facing yourself in the mirror. Look beyond the surface. Ask, who am I when no one's watching? Identify the masks you wore yesterday and resolve to shed at least one. Step 2. Radical honesty journaling. Write without filters. Pour out fears, desires, contradictions. Expose your fractured self on paper until you see the whole. Step 3. Selective exposure. Choose interactions consciously. Spend time with people who tolerate discomfort and encourage truth, not just comfort and approval. Limit shallow engagements. Step 4. Small acts of vulnerability. Share one truth each day that scares you. A disagreement, a fear, a failure. Notice how your internal fortress trembles but doesn't fall. Step 5. Evening reflection and recalibration. Before sleep, review moments you hid or performed. Commit to doing less tomorrow. Celebrate every moment you stood naked in your truth, no matter how small. This routine isn't about quick fixes or feel-good affirmations. It's about brutal self-discipline against years of conditioning. The battlefield is your mind and your soul. Victory requires persistence and resilience. No shortcuts, no excuses, only relentless commitment to your own becoming. Your battle for authentic connection isn't fought in isolation. It's a war between two relentless forces: virtù, your inner power, courage, and intentionality, and fortuna, the chaos of the world, external judgments, and uncontrollable circumstances. Nietzsche and Machiavelli both understood this eternal struggle. Virtù demands you forge your own path, wield your will, and endure the loneliness that follows. Fortuna tests your resolve with rejection, misunderstanding, and social exile. But this clash isn't merely external. Within you, shadow and light wage war. The shadow embodies fear, self-doubt, and the urge to conform for survival. The light shines with your true values, raw vulnerability, and unfiltered truth. Every day, you oscillate between these poles. Giving into shadow means retreat, masks, and silent suffering. Choosing light means exposure, risk, and painful growth. This tension is the crucible of transformation. You don't conquer Fortuna by avoiding her storms. You meet them head-on, wielding virtù as your shield. You don't extinguish your shadow, but integrate it, understanding its warnings without surrendering to its lies. This battle is ongoing, brutal, and unforgiving. Yet it's also where authentic connection and deep belonging are forged. To win, you must accept the loneliness, embrace the conflict, and remain unshakable. Only through this relentless tension can the fractured self become whole. Surviving the battlefield of loneliness demands more than courage. It requires mastery. First, build your fortress of boundaries. Say no to relationships that demand your masks. Guard your time and energy fiercely. Your truth is sacred. Don't let others exploit your vulnerability for comfort or control. Second, cultivate resilience through deliberate discomfort. Seek out situations that challenge your fears. Difficult conversations, honest feedback, moments of solitude. Train yourself to withstand rejection and alienation without retreat. Third, develop a circle of warriors, a small, trusted few who value your truth. These are the people who see the raw, unfiltered you and still choose to stand by your side. Quality over quantity wins this war. Fourth, practice relentless self-inquiry. Question every mask you wear, every fear you hide behind. Use meditation, journaling, or therapy to unearth hidden shadows and integrate them consciously. Finally, embrace the paradox of loneliness. Accept that profound solitude is part of the path to authentic connection. Loneliness is not your enemy. It's your signal, your test, your teacher. Those who run from it remain trapped in shallow connections. Those who face it become unbreakable. This war is brutal, relentless, and unforgiving. But the prize is immeasurable. A life where you are seen, heard, and connected, not as a reflection in a mirror, but as your true self. Stand firm, hold your ground, and fight without surrender. Enough with hiding, enough with pretending, enough with the lies you tell yourself just to fit in. The battlefield is before you. The war for your authentic self has already begun, whether you admit it or not. Now, the only question is, will you fight? This is your challenge. Declare it loud and clear. I am the prince of my own reality. Write it down. Speak it aloud. Post it where you cannot escape it, because knowledge without action is cowardice. Understanding without courage is surrender, and transformation without commitment is a lie. You have been trained to avoid loneliness, but that training has only chained you to invisibility. True freedom demands you walk through the fire of isolation, to stand alone, unmasked, and unbroken. It demands you embrace the brutal truth that you will be rejected, misunderstood, and lonely. But it also promises something few dare to seek, a life lived in uncompromising truth, a connection that transcends mirrors and masks, a power born not from conformity but from fearless authenticity. The path is yours alone to walk. Take the first step now. Declare your war, and never back down.